Ladies and gentlemen, it's that magical time where we finally make our wool and cotton spring jacket. We're going to start out by marking our pattern and cutting out all the pieces we need for this jacket. Since quilting cotton is not as wide as our Pendleton wool, we had to improvise and choose some more fabric to complete our jacket lining. Don't worry though, the spiderweb sleeves are still on theme. Snip, 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 don't cut the tip, because losing fingers is not a good thing. We are marking our pattern on our purple Pendleton wool fabric using tailor's chalk and then cutting each piece out one at a time with our fabric shears. We could cut multiple layers at the same time, but this wool is just thick enough. It would be too hard for my hands to handle. We are going to continue the process of marking out each of our pattern pieces on our fabric and cutting them out until we have all the pieces we need for assembling the spring jacket. Remember, if you are having issues with your pattern pieces moving about, you can use pattern weights to hold them still while you transfer your patterns to your fabric. Instead of buying weights from the fabric store, you can use whatever you have on hand. I like to use different rocks and crystals I have collected, along with a small herd of Japanese cast iron cat figurines I acquired in San Francisco. Once you have all your pieces cut out, it's time to start assembling the jacket. Don't forget to load up a few bobbins with your thread for the project so you can easily swap bobbins if you run out. We are starting the jacket by running all of the gathering stitches needed for the sleeve heads and the lining of the hood. Keep in mind that when you are sewing the two sides of your hoods together, that once you're done, you need to remember to clip those curves. Next, we are attaching the shoulders for both the shell and the lining of the jacket. Before we move on to putting in the welted pocket on the front panels of the jacket, you're going to want to line up and draw your pocket size before attaching the welts to the outside, stitching around and cutting it open. Once you have it attached via the machine, you want to make sure that everything is pressed nice and flat once you clip it and turn it the proper way. It is quite vital to remember that as your iron is heating up, do not reach over it to try to grab something on the other side. You will burn yourself. Now we are going to attach our pocket to the inside portion of the welt, making sure that the welt is folded up the proper way so that you cannot see the pocket material from the outside of the jacket. Then you're going to top stitch everything into place and close up the sides of the pocket bag. Next, we close up the center back seam on both the shell and the lining and make sure to press all those seams nice and flat. Then we will line up the balance points of the sleeves and gather up the sleeve heads. Once we are happy with the placement of the gathers, we then attach the sleeves to the body of the jacket. As you can see in this shot, all you see is the back of my head, as I forgot my camera placement and kept leaning right into the shot. Stitch the sleeve ends together at the cuff before sewing up the sides of the jacket. Then, the hood of the jacket shell is sewn on with some small pleats in the back while the lining is gathered and attached. Make sure to press all your seams nice and flat to keep the jacket looking smooth and professional when finished. Once the lining and shell of the jacket is fully attached, we then flip it inside out, throw on a quick hem, and then add some buttonholes. We then mark our button placement through the holes and then hand stitch them on using the same thread, just doubled over and waxed to make it nice and secure. Beeswax is a great tool for making both cotton and linen thread much stronger and last much longer. Now it is finally the time for the big spring jacket reveal, and so we are off to the Tulip Farm in Mount Vernon. Overall, I love how the jacket turned out, but the wool I chose is actually a bit heavier than I originally thought it was, making this jacket a bit more appropriate for colder temperatures, but it'll be a perfect early spring and fall weight jacket. Look at me spin! Doesn't the purple wool look great with those beautiful red tulips in the background? And look at me go, all snug and warm as a bug. Overall, I am absolutely pleased with how this jacket turned out. The color is amazing, it is nice, warm and snug, fits me just perfectly, and if I was to do anything different, if I was to remake it, I'd make sure that I'd use a slightly lighter weight wool that's more appropriate for late spring, early summer. And I might just take down the puff of the sleeves a little, seeming as it's a little bit extra, even though I am a lot extra. But overall, I absolutely love this jacket. Turned out great, and I'll be seeing y'all next time.